advantage, as Trotskyites always have done throughout their history, which is to infiltrate groups, particularly latch on to the young and the gullible, and to give them the causes that they in turn must fight. And as a result, our politicians, and I'm grateful that I'm speaking to you as a rehabilitated politician today, these are the politicians that make our foreign policy, and they have been fed a diet of anti-Israel propaganda, a one-sided narrative, a one-sided debate. And the prime example of it, perhaps, was the 2014 Gaza war, Operation Protective Edge. At the time I was a Member of Parliament, and let me tell you this, I received an onslaught of emails from that group of people I mentioned earlier, many of them from the Muslim community, others from the hard left, who urged me to take an anti-Israel position, and many of my colleagues received the same emails on all sides of the House of Commons. I received one email, and I'll spare the individual's identity, because I had an Israeli community, a Jewish community, in the constituency that I represented, in Thornton Hall, and part of the East Kilbride, Straven and Lesmont Mahago constituency. I received one email, and the person said, "What are you doing for Israel?" And I retorted, "What are you doing for Israel?" Because I've been fighting Israel's cause from the day and hour I was elected to Parliament, and I stand up for Israel inside Parliament. So what are you doing for Israel? And unfortunately, the imbalance that was created inside our Parliament, the United Kingdom Parliament, then translates to the Foreign Office, which is Arabist in its design and is cemented into an anti-Israel position. A lot of it because there are more Arab states than there is the one single Jewish state, but a lot of it because they always get the anti-Israel narrative. And every time the Israeli ambassador to the United Kingdom attends a meeting at the Foreign Office, every time we put forward arguments for Israel in places like the UK Parliament, this is the answer that they get. And this is not made up or make-believe. We have a sack of mail for the pro-Palestinian campaign, and we have a handful of correspondence from the pro-Israel camp. And if you don't think that is important, ladies and gentlemen, then I have to tell you that you are not living in the real world. Because the reason that the vast population of MPs are willing to follow a full Palestinian narrative is because that is where they get their messaging from, and they are frightened of their mailbags. I used to say to my staff, if a half a dozen emails come in the same subject, tell me about it, because I know that it's the start of a bigger process. And incidentally, ladies and gentlemen, it's not just the usual suspects in the Labour Party. It's not just Jeremy Corbyn, Andrew Slaughter, Lisa Nandy, Richard Burden and John McDonnell who hate Israel. There are Conservatives, Sir Edward Lee, Pauline Latham, who I used to serve with in the International Development Select Committee, and Nicholas Soames. Imagine how his grandfather is feeling when he sees his grandson taking an anti-Israel position in the House of Commons. And of course, Liberal Democrats, well, you could virtually name any one of the Liberal Democrats and you're going to get an anti-Israel position, but you know, one of the foremost in that battalion was the nasty and downright vicious Baroness Tongue, who was utterly extraordinary in some of the things that she has said over the time. Now, that gives them propaganda victories. And let me tell you what those propaganda victories look like. The 13th of October 2014, a debate in the House of Commons about the recognition of Palestine. Without resolving those key issues about borders, security, about refugees, and about Israel, about Jerusalem. None of those issues are sorted, but we have to recognise a Palestinian state. That was a massive propaganda victory for the Palestinian Solidarity Campaign and falls into the non-acceptance issues that were mentioned earlier. Ladies and gentlemen, the organisation that I now head up, the Israel-Britain Alliance, has been created to combat the clear and present danger of that jaundiced Palestinian narrative. There are many organisations that support Israel, Jewish, Christian and secular, and they all do fabulous work. They all do fabulous work. The only problem is, in the past, they have done fabulous but uncoordinated work. And we can all have individual campaigns, whichever the organisation is, but there will be small individual campaigns. And what the IBA does is bring together that collective group of individuals across our country, whether they be Jewish, Christian, or have no faith, but they share a single goal, and that's to support the State of Israel and the Jewish people. And the IBA therefore wants to create the ability for us to make our voice heard, one single dynamic voice that our politicians have to listen to. The IBA has 20 partners at the moment. It ranges from, we believe, the International Christian Embassy Jerusalem, Christians United for Israel, COFIS, of course, Sussex Friends of Israel, Northwest Friends of Israel, to our newest partner, Jersey Friends of Israel, which I had the pleasure of addressing last week. And although they have a unique political status in terms of they have their own legislature, their own chief minister, their foreign policy is dictated by Britain, and therefore they have an important contribution to make. And by building up those partnerships, building up those friendships, building up those networks, ladies and gentlemen, we change the game. And so instead of a single jaundiced Palestinian narrative, a dishonest narrative, a narrative that denies the history that we have heard about this morning, a narrative that presents a bleak future, not just for the Middle East, but for Palestinians who have to live under the cosh of the bad leadership that they have. The Israel-Britain Alliance offers facts, it offers honesty, and it offers hope. And not just for Israel, but for the downtrodden Palestinian people. So we work hard at partnership. We recognise that people have got differences of opinion. The vast majority of people believe in a two-state solution. Some people don't. The vast majority of people believe that if we work hard, we can get to a solution. Others don't. We take the narrative which we can all agree on, and we then create and mould that into a message and a platform we can all agree on. So our first 4 campaigns were about Palestinian prisoners, the outrageous situation, beyond peradventure. When I asked the Palestinian Authority Finance Minister, do you pay terrorists and do you pay them a higher salary when they're in prison based on the tariff that they are serving? His reply, he didn't even hesitate. Yes. And ladies and gentlemen, as a former member of the International Development Select Committee and a former civil servant who worked at the Department for International Development in East Kilbride, let me tell you that the British government, our taxpayers, hard-earned cash, is currently making a contribution to terrorists who are in jail, who have killed men, women and children, and it is a thundering disgrace, and it's what we're working on just now. We had a campaign in Hezbollah, and we then used the debate in the House of Commons to focus again on the misuse of aid, and our current campaign is called #StopTheWar. I'm going to talk to you about that in a few moments. But if you think we don't make a difference, and this is where I give a cue, Sammy, and hopefully someone presses a button for a video to come on.
I'll have to go and get it for you.